Hello or welcome Sobmanike NLTV la first episode that is Good Morning Nagaland te swagat kori ase. So ami apnala anchor Ravina Lama. So apni khan jana nishina ami han Good Morning episode shuru koribo karone isor la kotha ba invoke kore. Aibi ajibi isor la kotha re ki likhi kina ase ami khan learn koribo.
Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Psalms 156.
Of Psalms 156 te ko gina se ami khala sas pra ami khala sas lua nishna ki ulai to sabte praise the Lord ko kubi ko gina jana ase to praise the Lord ko to isor laga naam ucha krala isor ke praise kra mahima krala se ina nishna ami khan bi hodai ami khala sas karne isor ke praise krala ko gine eman khata aru iman bhal Bible verse pra blessing ushe ko gina akha kore se. So now we have I think positive I be think positive tu ami ange ki positive thought lobo lage ami khan lobo.
A leader is a dealer in hope. Napoleon Bonaparte.
A leader is a dealer of hope. Without hope, manu kitia bhi age baro na pare. Aru ekta hosala leader hobo ke liye to apni faith thakibo lage, apni hope thakibo lage. Apni hope thaki kine বিশ্বাস কৰি কিনে কাম কৰিছি কলে তো বিশ্বাস কৰি কিনে ইটো যে ডিল কৰি কিনে মই ইটো কৰিব কৈছি কলে তো আপোনাৰ লাইফতে আপুনি সাকসেস হ'ব আৰু আপুনি বেছি আগি যাব কিনে থিংক পজিটিভ পাৰবি ইমান ভাল আমি শিকিব পাৰিছে. Now we have our top headlines, so let's look at top headlines. NPF President Sir Hosile Rajitsu stated that it cannot be agreed at the moment to use Hindi as an alternative to English in Nagaland because it is impossible in its totally. President in his statement on April 10 pointed out that it is ground reality and that there is no other option at the moment. Joint Coordination Committee of Village JCCV for Dimapur district has decided to suspend its sit-in demonstration scheduled on April 11th and 12th. Following verbal requests from the State Chief Secretary. With rising cost of fuel prices in recent weeks owing to global conflict and spiraling inflation, means of livelihood for many autos and two-wheeler taxi drivers have drastically been affected. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to hold virtual meeting with US President Joe Biden on Monday. Both leaders will review ongoing bilateral cooperation and exchange views on development in South Asia, Indo-Pacific region and global issues of mutual interest. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz PML and Chief Shehbaz Sharif all set to succeed Imran Khan as the country's next Prime Minister on Sunday, paid tribute to his elder brother Nawaz Sharif and a host of other party leaders. So viewers, we have already crossed 3 segments, that is our Bible verse followed by Think Positive and now our top headlines. So we shall proceed to our next segment called the print preview. So আমি খান print preview segment এ যাব আৰু চাব আমি local newspaper পৰা আমি খান কি আমি খান ওচৰ লা জাকা নলবি আমি খান region জাকা নলবি neighboring জাকা নলবি দুনিয়া লা জাকা লা পৰে কি কৈছে আমি খান learn কৰিব আহিবি. So like always we have Morning Express. So Ivy Morning Express apnala top screen e thakibo apni han bi sabo paribo. So on screen we can see the Morning Express, the power of truth. So aji to bishi alak with one heading with different opinion or a different segment kan pra dikina ase, that is compulsory Hindi statement continue to evoke sharp reaction in Nagaland. So as we already know that Amit Shah pra like a few days back tai pra ami khan ke to regarding the Hindi to class 10 to compulsory kurbo, and it shouldn't be an alternative to English but should be equally like English jishna hi like parallel line te hi jabo kuin thakala ase. So itut rakhyala matlab to ami khan ke to Hindi te importance dibole laga aru ami shiki bole lagala pora ase ulibi yete I wouldn't say it's objection, but it is a reaction from different people, and moreover, like some of us see, ami khan la itu school education in Nagaland, itu ami khan tai prabi kushe directors, some of us see prabi jana dishe ki state government has not received any direction or communication from the government of India. To tai pra ko to Nagaland laga Nagaland government, Nagaland Sarkar pra ku information pana from the government of India. Or at the other hand, Amit Shah laga statement para kwa hisab te do tai pra ko to even the Northeast has agreed with the compulsory Hindi subject and Hindi language to be used in the Northeast especially, and also Nagaland has also agreed to that. Ami han bhi apne han bhi jani ase ininga la pore to sanava CIS paratai pra to ami han ke ininga to no hoy ininga to information panai kuche, and there are like different reaction manu han bra alag alag reaction digna ase to yete to moi starting reaction hi koi dibo because there are lots of reaction out here. So yete Hindi as alternative, moila cursor apni saw parbo. Hindi as the blue heading. Hindi as alternative to English in Nagaland. Impossible in its totality, Dr. Sarhozele. So let's read it out. The Naga People's Front NPF President Dr. Sarhozele Lejitsu today said that, it means yesterday, said that Hindi cannot be used as an alternate to English in Nagaland, given the status of the language in the state. We are not against Hindi, but we cannot agree at the moment to use Hindi as an alternative to English in Nagaland because it is impossible in its totality. And he said that he is not denying the fact that we shouldn't learn Hindi. He said that Hindi is important, but at a time it's totally impossible. Ichala hisab te do because tahan pra government of Nagaland pra bhi kui nika approve inga pa bhi no hoy government of India side pra tahan pra koi hisab te to itu the iman totally agree no koi na se. So our RIB next line ki koi se will look it. This is the ground reality, and we do not notice. We do not find any other option at the moment, he added. Justifying the same, Dr. Sarhozele noted that while Hindi is the national language, if it is imposed by the central government on the people who do not know the language without putting in any effort to make them learn, it would amount to alternation. Yes, obviously, if a person mohanpura ekta jati na jani ase, for example, jati ekta bhasha ekta na jani na se, to itu jati do achanak pura inika hali dishikul do, it becomes and it creates and it is a ground reality that it is a fact problem, FSCT fact problem ekta ho jaye. To taba kushit to inika Hindi chulao thaka to inika chulao la chule, it should be an alternative ho lage, so that amiga Hindi to mohan bhapa na pare ami jani ase. Yes, mohan jana to jani ase Hindi hole bi mohan bhala ko na pare, so it becomes an alternation ekta ho jaye because mohan life te ki hole bi ami kan ekta na partial de ekta de ami han sai na inika la pare kola ase, it will amount to alternation which may not certainly be the interest of the nation, he added. To buttress his point, Dr. Sarhozele narrated that the then Prime Minister Morarji Desai, who was holding education portfolio during 1979 and 1980, said in an education minister conference in New Delhi that Hindi should be used from the beginning to PG level and education. When views were sought by the chairperson, Sheila Kolt, the then Minister of State Education, from the members present, Nagaland had expressed that it was not possible in the state, he recalled. When Desai insisted why, he was reportedly informed that though people of the state want to learn Hindi, there was no one to teach them, and Hindi teachers were ex-servicemen from the Assam regiment. Therefore, if you, PM, come down to Nagaland, you cannot understand our Hindi, in as much as we cannot understand your Hindi in Delhi. he was reportedly told as per Dr. Sir Hosele account. So that's a very good point pointed out by Dr. Sir Hosele. He took the example of 1979 and 1980, that is the Prime Minister Morarji Desai. Morarji Desai laga tai example lushi. Morarji Desai when he was back then was holding the education portfolio during 1979 and 1980. Tai bra kushe ki education minister conference te New Delhi thakatan the Hindi should be used from the beginning to PG level in education. When views were sought by the chairperson Sheila Cole, then the president Sheila Cole was then the president minister of state education from the members present. So nya koapra taipra ininga janala ase ki Hindi use kule munasikle it should be used from the PG level so that mohan ka khaga pra likine ORE pra likine amian bacha time pra shikishi goldo it become an habit amian likine ABC sikaishi niga nishna amian habit hu jabo habit dishi goldo it mohan life te hobo libi amian bi dikhia do amian la state amian bacha time pra holibi iniga Hindi compulsory korana at a certain age ami khan alop class 3 4 hope jita amian Hindi do adapt koriche aru induct koriche amla education system de even mohalla time tv iniga ase aru bishi mohalla time tv iniga ase so out of sudden Hindi language eta dali dia compulsory and when we say education we shouldn't play with education because education do amian Hindi puri ase yes we are on the process 1 year diamond kiman khatam kori pare mohan exam digni fail issue it is affecting our education system right because khali science maths khan prahi amian age barao no Hindi bara age barao so if we lack in Hindi te amian lack kore Hindi te mon marks score ko na press ko it impact the overall percentage and it really impact the overall growth of education system when we call for children or when we call for the teenage because mon teenage bacha time pa hi teenage pra hi learn kori adult life che jai mon the adult opposite do we know how to speak Hindi but in our Hindi sounds very different from the Hindi manu Delhi la hobi Haryana la hobi the Hindi they speak and the Hindi we speak is very different to type right to perfect and legitimate to point type dig out koriche and that's 100% true so type koto he is not against of Hindi but then it is totally not impossible as of now so even after 40 years Nagaland still remain almost in the same position because we have not seen any serious effort made on the part of the central government towards development of the language whichever party is in power in Delhi the NPF president stated. So, aru I just missed out some points. So, ta agi de kwa nishna. Aru Hindi shikawala sigoldo there should be a Hindi teacher. Pula pra Hindi teacher thakbo lage. Holebi pula te do Hindi teacher na thaki pra. Tade Assam Rifle laga regiment khan ex-servicemen khan pra hi tahan pra Hindi shikawala hai koina ase. Aru the good point about this one itu kwasigodo we know that teachers can Hindi teachers they are not getting payment if they are not getting payment how they are willing to teach us Hindi isn't it because tahami tahanla pet karne yeah they got the policies and the opportunity to learn Hindi tahan ke Agra Delhi they jagine tahan Hindi shikigine they become Hindi teachers tahan Hindi they graduate higine Hindi they tahan learn kurine Nagaland shikawla actually Nagaland itself yete puikine tahan salary na paise from the central from the state salary na paise goldo how will it be possible for the student to learn Hindi the second point is that it be ekta ho jay aru puila pra hi niga ex serviceman regiment khala ex serviceman phan pra aikine niga shikai gina goldo it is a completely different story ekta ho jay to ichala era laga aru puila era compare kushigli do aru it's been 40 years that Nagaland still remain almost in the same position because we have not seen any serious effort made on the part of the central government towards development of language kuni janai dia ase to tai laga statement hi ami prai dia la ase moreover like at that time regarding this prevailing this Hindi language laga upor day, there will be many reaction. I'm telling you, there will be many reaction. Not from the NPF khali NPF presidents or legit superkla no. There will be so many statement aro will come. The statement kan aibo. Manukhala reaction kan, so we'll look into it. Aro sabo to tahan praki aro lukinage jabo. So the next we have JCCV suspend proposed sit-in demonstration. Joint Coordination Committee of Village JCCV for Dimapur District has decided to suspend in its sit-in demonstration scheduled on April 11 and April 12. So today is April 11, tomorrow is April 12. So tahan pura sit-in demonstration kind of like andolan type ko thaka to shuru hoche following a verbal request from the State Chief Secretary, the committee informed. So tahan do before they doing this, they tahan the verbal request kura laga se. As per the release, the request was made in a meeting held in the Chief Secretary office on April 7. Where he also urged to give some more days to the 3-member committees headed by Home Commissioner to study the matter for peaceful resolution of the impasse. So tahan April 7 TV, I still remember Moibai the news there April 7 the tahan meeting because they were not reacting. Tarila Sorkar Handaku react Nukura Batahando meeting looking 11 12 to Rakibo Kuni Rakhala Tagishe. To Aru meeting day hoy in general thagishe. So ye aru puru para thakado. Accordingly, an emergency executive meeting of the JCCV on April 10 decided to suspend the proposed demonstration, it stated. To April 10, Joakale tahan suspend kro thagishe. As a responsible organization, the JCCV would desist from doing any kind of agitation for now, in the larger interest of the people and the government, it added. However, the JCCV decided to continue the official dealings with DC Dimapur despite a government notification putting Dansari subdivision under the jurisdiction of Chimukidima district. So, to tahan suspend kuya laga wakto tahan braru kotha bhala patingine DC ki bhala kotha patingine regarding the shifting of Dansari subdivision to Chumukidima nokru karne tahan itu laga hi oporte hi ase kukine janala se. That's a good thing that tahan bi nia batchit la opor pra hi niga jawole laga, because yes, andolan agitation is important. Will be at some point it really hampers our growth. Amyala growth ki hampers jai aro khali agitation andolan prahi pai nikai club no hoy there is so many formal ways of talking or tahan bi itu bhabi kini hi tahan pra inia kuru kini bhabya to. That's a very good thing. So yete pura mola print preview segment to smart krise. I hope that with these two heading apni han bi kiba to learn kurse ko kine akha kurese. Now we have our next segment, that is the fact of the day.
China invaded Vietnam on April 11, 1984.
So amala te tia fact of the day learn krado China pura Vietnam te invade kurishe 1984 11 April 11 te. So amihan pula la history pula laga bi amihan shiku pare se to ami to learn to share to be learn kun rakibi, it will be really helpful for general knowledge kun janale se. So now we have viewers corners. Well, it's time for another segment called viewers corner, especially dedicated to all our viewers.
सोचे too much कर जल्दी से wake up जो तो करे मेहनत सब होगी सहमत कहाँ पहुँचेगा धीरे धीरे देख up मेरा खुद पे भरोसा खुद दावे भी तू हक से बना है दुआ से भी है जो आज तेरे साथ वो रहेगा हर सांस ऐसा होना हर वक्त भी जरूरी नहीं पीठ पीछे वार मैंने कभी नहीं किया आगे से भाई पीछे गाली नहीं दिया जो थे मेरे साथ होना आज मेरे साथ वो मिले मिले राजा मैं चोर बन गया माँ ने बोला भरोसा रख बाप ने बोला चले कलम चले पर धीरे धीरे आगे कदम चले मेरे शब्दों ने तोड़ा जंजीरों को आज मेरे दोनों हाथ खुले तू भी देख ले किताबों से सीखा मैंने उतना नहीं जितना कि वक्त ने सिखाया मुझे खुद से था काफी सारे फेस मुझे दिखा बिना पर्दे के देख के भी किया मैंने अनदेखा डर के जीना मैंने सीखा नहीं और छुप के रहना मुझे आता नहीं डर के जीना मैंने सीखा नहीं और छुप के रहना मुझे आता नहीं मुझे सब है याद रखा सबका हिसाब मैंने कितनी बार किया खुद से सवाल और कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब मुझे सब है याद रखा सबका हिसाब मैंने कितनी बार किया खुद से सवाल और कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब मुझे सब है याद रखा सबका हिसाब मैंने कितनी बार किया खुद से सवाल और कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब yeah I'm dropping the vibe yeah I'm running the beat yeah दिल मार मेरे भाई क्योंकि आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट yeah I'm dropping the vibe yeah I'm running the beat yeah दिल मार मेरे भाई क्योंकि आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट शिकायत करोगे तो कायर बनोगे जो शायर बनोगे तो लायक बनोगे सबका हिसाब मैंने रखा है सीने में आएगा वक्त तो नायक बनोगे अपनों से रिश्ता है गहरा मेरा खुद से मैं खुद कुछ कहने लगा जमाने की सुनने नहीं वाला मैं खुद से मैं खुद कुछ बन के दिखाने वाला ऊंची बस फेंकना नहीं है चीची वाले चीजें देखना नहीं है चीची गुलामी से टिकना नहीं है हाँ जी बातें सही सटीक लकड़ी की काटी और काटी पे घोर है जिन पे भरोसा किया सालों ने दौड़ा है लकड़ी की काटी और काटी पे घोर है छोड़ो ना सबके सब कितने है राज दफन मैंने कितने किए एहसान दफन मुझे कुछ नहीं कहना इस बारे में छोड़ो इस बात को करते हैं यही पे खत्म हमको डिबेट नहीं करना है देख स्लैंग्स बस रिलेट नहीं करना है फेम चाहे मुझे अब मिले ना मिले इस फेम के लिए कभी डिफेम नहीं करना है मुझे सब है याद रखा सबका हिसाब मैंने कितनी बार किया खुद से सवाल और कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब मुझे सब है याद रखा सबका हिसाब मैंने कितनी बार किया खुद से सवाल और कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब कितनी बार मिला खुद का जवाब yeah I'm dropping the vibe yeah I'm running the beat yeah दिल मार मेरे भाई क्योंकि आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट yeah I'm dropping the vibe yeah I'm running the beat yeah दिल मार मेरे भाई क्योंकि आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट yeah आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट yeah आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट आने वाले वर्ष में तो बढ़नी है हिट
Wow, viewers, after such a long time, that was an interesting performance by Tupai Nang from Dimapur. Artala rep tima bhabla so just like Tupang, if you want to exhibit your talent, then the wait is over. Simply mail us at goodmorningnagaland@gmail.com or you can WhatsApp us on the given number that is 88766292268. Our Tupai Nang pra iman bhal pra amian ke talaga rap talaga gana pra tala visuals pra amian ke entertain kura pra dhanyabad ar badhai janaise iniga hi bhal kam kuri kine manu khan ke iniga hi khushi ko thakibi kure janaise so itia ami khala next segment ase morning melody de kiman alag alag holebi morning melody we never change morning melody de ahibi ami han ki gana ase sabo ar refresh hobo
In love with the things you do without your hands on me. Never knew I'll lay on the right side bed of yours. Wanna flex your body around the mirror. Wanna sing you a song that's on my mind. Let me be the one girl to love you, hold you every day. Ay. I can make you feel good when you're down. Ay. Let me be your trooper when you're home bored. Ay. I can be a good vibe if you need, girl. I don't just wanna be your good friend, girl. I wanted more of everything, girl. I know I'm crazy about every shit on my mind, but I can't stop myself thinking of you. We can go anywhere you like, girl. Grab a drink and dance all night long. On the moonlight night on the dance floor. Ay, ay. I fell in love with the things you do without your hands on me. Never knew I'd lay on the right side bed of yours. Ay. Wanna flex your body around the mirror. Wanna sing you a song that's on my mind. Life seems so rough when you're not around me. Your love is what keeps me going. I fell in love with the things you do without your hands on me. Never knew I'd lay on the right side bed of yours, hey. Wanna flex your body around the mirror, hey. Wanna sing you a song that's on my mind, hey. I fell in love with the things you do without your hands on me. Never knew I'd lay on the right side bed of yours, hey. Wanna flex your body around the mirror, hey. Wanna sing you a song that's on my mind, hey. Wanna flex your body around the mirror, hey. Wanna sing you a song that's on my mind, hey.
So viewer, this is all for the day and we are almost done with our good morning episode. So ami han na jage de apne han ke weather updates to weather reports to side bi kun janai de ase because borkhon barish odai giri ase hawa tufan odai mari ase. So apne han protection to ami han duty ase because apne han bra apne han ke weather update dia to sabi aur apne han kam khan hisab se jabi ko kine janai de ase. Signing off, your anchor Ravina Lama.
YY Dynamite Instant Noodles. It's extra spicy. Taste that will blow your mind.
इतो टेंग तो निपको टच ब्रांड लगा हुआ नहीं हुए आज अपनी लगा हरती एक तभी बच्चे बहुत थके नहीं दे ईश्वर के धन्यवाद टीवी इतो निपको टच लगा ब्लो मोक टेंगे से ही हुए